Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Famil Fatimur from Smansabara, and today I'm participating in NSDC 2026 as the opposition team. Well, today's motion is this House, as parents of a prodigy in a non-lucrative field, will prioritize developing the child's talent in that field over steering them toward a more lucrative field. Before moving further to our argument, let's be clear about today's motion. So, a non-lucrative field is a field with limited financial stability and limited long-term economic security, while prioritized means where parents place most of their time, their resources, expectations, and long-term planning for their child's future. So, our side is not banning passion or hobbies. We simply believe that parents should not center a child's entire future around a financially unstable path. Today's topic is not about whether passion is important or not. Of course, passion matters. Of course, parents should support their children's interest and talents, but the real question is, should parents prioritize a risky and financially stable future just because their child is talented in it? Standing as the opposition, we say no, because at the end of the day, parents have a responsibility not only to make their children happy in the moment, but also to make sure that they can live safely and independently in the future. Before I move to my arguments, I want to review some important things from Prime Minister of the proposition team. The first one, proposition keeps assuming that because the child is a prodigy, they will most likely succeed, but talent does not guarantee that someone will have a good future. A child can be extremely talented and still fail because the industry is too small, and then there are very limited jobs, and then the funding is unstable, or their patient changes when they grow older. Because being gifted at age of 10 doesn't necessarily mean that you want the same career at age of 30. And proposition themselves admitted this when they talked about preparing safety nets and backup plans. Because if the field is truly stable and safe, why do you need so many backup plans in the first place? That already proves that the field is very risky. Secondly, proposition said non-lucrative fields are safer because there is less competition, but that doesn't make sense. Yes, maybe fewer people enter those fields, but there are also far fewer opportunities that we can take. For example, maybe only a few people want to become classical musicians, but there are also very few orchestras, scholarships, or stable job available. So, less competition doesn't automatically mean better chances. The third proposition talked about passion too much. They act like turning your passion into a career will always make you happy. But many times, when your survival depends on your passion, it becomes stressful instead. And when your art or talent becomes the only way you can earn money, passion can turn into a pressure. And now, let me move to my main argument. So, the first one, parents should prioritize a long-term stability because children cannot fully understand risks yet. Children naturally think emotionally, like they focus on what they enjoy, what they are good at, and what makes them feel special. But parents are supposed to think in long term. Parents must think about financial stability, about job security, about mental health, and whether their child can survive independently in adulthood or not. And that is what responsible parenting looks like. And our side doesn't say children should completely abandon their passion. We still allow their hobbies to do sport, to study art, or continue their hobbies. But we don't think that parents should make that unstable field as the main priority of the child's future, because financial stability actually gives more freedom in the long term. A financially stable person can still pursue their passions later. For example, like an engineer can still become a musician on the side, a doctor can still write books, a successful worker can still support artistic hobbies or research. But the opposite is much harder. If someone struggles financially in a non-lucrative field, eventually survival becomes more important than passion. That means they actually lose freedom instead. Next, Proposition said prodigies have a moral obligation to contribute to society because they are talented, but children are not born to become tools for society. Just because someone is gifted does not mean that they should sacrifice the stability and pressure themselves for the rest of their lives. Talent may be give opportunity, but not with obligation. And finally, let's talk about the family relationship. Proposition says children will hate their parents if they are pushed toward lucrative careers, but children can also resent parents when their whole childhood becomes focused on one talent. Imagine like you are growing up feeling like your entire worth depends on your performance. Imagine failing after your parents invested everything into one dream. That pressure can seriously damage a child mentally and emotionally, so our side is more balanced. We support passion, but we also protect the child from unnecessary risk. Because good parenting is not about blindly following dreams, but it is also about preparing children for reality while still allowing them to grow as individuals. And that's why I'm proud to oppose in today's debate.